We're going to be solving equations for a variable. Okay, I have the normal science equation they use. D equals R times T. Distance equals rate times time. What they're asking us first to do is to solve for R. That means to get R by itself. So this right here, I want to get all alone. Right now, D is by itself. So if I rewrite this, D equals R times T. If I want R by itself, what is on the same side of the equation with the R? Well, I'm going to draw a dotted line here. What's on the same side? It's a T. This says R times T. What's the opposite of times? Divide. So I'm going to divide, and I want to get R by itself. So I'm going to divide by T, and what I do to one side, I must do to the other. I do this because T divided by T is 1, just like 8 divided by 8 equals 1, 10 divided by 10 equals 1, R divided by R is going to equal 1, T divided by T, same thing. So these will cancel out, and I'm going to get D divided by T equals R. That's our answer, because all it wanted us to do was to get R by itself. Okay, so what if it asked us to only solve for T? Well, let's start with this. D equals R times T. And we only want to get T by itself. I'm going to draw my dotted line. We're trying to get T by itself. What's with the T on the same side? It's the R. It says R times T. The opposite of times is divide. I'm going to divide both sides by R. D divided by R equals T. That's our answer. The next one, here's my equation. It says x plus t equals k. Solve for t. So they want t all by itself. Pause the video and see if you can come up with the answer, and then come back and see how you did. I have x plus t equals k. I'm going to draw my dotted line. I want to get t by itself. What's on the same side of the equation with the t? The x is. It's a positive x. To move it to the other side, I need to do the opposite. So I'll subtract x from each side. X minus x is 1, cancels out. T equals k minus x. There's your equation. Just trying to get t by itself. Well, the next one says, what if we want to solve for x? So let me rewrite this. X plus t equals k. Alright, so they want us to solve for x. Look and see what we did the last time when we were solving for t. Pause the video and see if you can figure out what you can do to get x by itself. I'm going to draw a dotted line on my equal sign. This time I want x by itself. What's on the same side of the equation with the x? It's the plus t. The opposite of plus t is minus t, and what I do to one side, you do to the other. These cancel, and I get x equals k minus t. That's the answer. Next one, there's the next one. Try and solve and get r by itself. Okay, so I'm going to write r minus k equals v. I'm going to draw a dotted line on my equal sign. I want to get r all by itself. If I put my pencil on the r, what is on the same side of the equal sign with the r? The minus k. To move that to the other side, you need to do the opposite. The opposite of minus k is plus k. So I will add it to one side, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. I'll cross this out, and I get r equals v plus k. Okay, well, let's do the next one. See if you can look at what I did here, and now try and get k by itself. Come back and see how you did. I have, let me rewrite the equation, r minus k equals v. So here's my equation, and I want to get k by itself. Let me draw my dotted line. If I want to get k by itself, what's on the same side with the k? The r is. This is a positive r. There's a positive r and a negative k. The positive r, I'm going to subtract r from each side. Do that. These cancel. I get negative k equals V minus R. Do not forget the negative. It still has to stay with the K. Now this is like a -1. So to get K has to be positive. So you need to divide everything by -1. Basically you're changing the sign of everything. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. K equals positive divided by a negative is a negative V. Negative divided by negative is a positive. R divided by 1 is R. Here's your equation. Now you could write it like this, or you could even see it written K equals R minus V. This means the same thing. See, because the V is still negative, the R is still positive. They're just in a different order. The next one to try, I think this is the last set here. Okay, right there you have 2V minus T equals M. Solve for V. Well, let me rewrite this here. I'm going to draw my dotted line. Here's my V. Well, what's on the same side with this term? The minus T. The opposite of minus T is plus T. I add T to each side. Remember, you do the addition and subtraction first. I get 2V equals M plus T because this cancels out. Now, 2 times V, the opposite of times, is divide. So you'll divide everything by 2. Now you could write this a couple of ways. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I have, oops, didn't mean to write that like that. V equals M plus T divided by 2. Or maybe you kept it as V equals M divided by 2 plus T divided by 2. Either one of these ways right here are correct. They mean the same thing. Let me rewrite the equation here. I have 2V minus T equals M. Okay, so on this one it says solve for T. So I'm going to go here and draw my dotted line. I want to get T by itself. Well, what's on the same side with the T? 2V. It's a positive 2V, so I'm going to subtract 2V from each side. These cancel. This is a negative T, so I'm going to put negative T equals M minus 2V. Well, this is negative T, like a -1. I can't have my T negative, so I divide each side by -1. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Positive T equals, this will be a negative M, negative divided by negative is positive, plus 2V. Or you can write it T equals 2V minus M. Move out of the way here. Both of these are correct.